Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. I'm so excited today. I've got actress, writer, producer, Elise Luthman with me. So welcome, Elise.
Hey, everybody. I'm very glad to be here.
I feel like I was picking up speed as I was introducing you. I was like, slow down, slow down.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I know. I got excited. You got excited. We're just feeding off of each other at this point.
Well, so we tried to do this yesterday, but we had a lot of technical issues. So that's why we're excited today, because we made it this far.
Exactly. We finally made it. And now we had to work for it. So now it feels like we've really accomplished
something. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Although I kind of wish we recorded yesterday's, because it would have been fun.
It would so many of the what did you and like all the breaking up.
Yeah, we had because we were talking over each other because there was a delay and it was freezing up.
Yeah.
It was a mess. Boy, that is a fancy glass.
Thank you. I like collecting really fancy wine glasses, and then I use it for like my orange juice or my green tea.
Yeah. And it almost looks like a Fresca. Have you ever had a Fresca?
Oh, is that like
It's like a grapefruit soda.
Oh, now I know what you're talking about. Oh, yeah, I've never had one, but I know of it.
It's good with tequila. We were talking about that earlier. It makes a good, they call it a Paloma.
I feel like by the end of this podcast, I'm going to have a whole list of what to mix with tequila.
That's right. I've given you a show because I told you to watch The Wheel of Time this weekend.
Yeah.
And we've talked through drinks that you can have during the show. You're going to be all set. I've planned your weekend. You're welcome.
I'm going to drink with some friends later. So now I'm going to have all this information. Okay, guys, here's what we're going to do.
Paloma and Cuba Libre. That's your homework. You got to try those out.
Deal.
Well, thank you so much for hanging in there, coming back today. I'm so excited to get to talk to you.
Yeah.
So for me, because I always like to, we play where have we seen this person from? All right. So we did that. We played that. And I was pretty sure, but so I had to run it by my wife. I'm like, I think she was in a Crazy Glue commercial.
Get out of here.
But she confirmed it for me. She's like, well, I think so. She's like, I think. But then we looked it up and you sure were.
Get out of here.
You're just a little thing, though.
I was so small. I remember that commercial so vividly because it was really, really cold and I had to sit on this bench. It was a bus bench and it was freezing. And because I was just so little, the ladies were like, can I get you anything? And I was like, bacon. And so in between takes, when they would yell cut, they would just feed me because they felt so bad for me because I was so cold. So they would just feed me bacon bits.
That's very Midwestern of you.
Yeah, that's crazy though. I've never had anyone recognize me from that. That was what, 10 plus years ago?
Well, it was such a funny commercial because it was the doll head.
The doll with the head came off.
Yeah, the doll head came off.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow. I have to tell my whole family now about this. Like, guess what?
Yeah. You were, but now when we went and looked it up, it's obviously you.
Yeah.
It wasn't hard to recognize you, but you were young.
Yes. That was when I wasn't really sure whether I wanted to be an actor or not.
Yeah. Because I was going to ask you that. Had you decided already that you wanted to try, or was that more just I'm going to try it out?
It was because I remember my brother Joey Luthman, he's an actor, and so I would just follow with him to auditions, and then occasionally they would be like, "Oh, well, does your little sister want to audition too?" And so then I started doing some, and this was the very first commercial I ever booked. And I was still very shy. I didn't want to be in front of the camera. I was uncomfortable with it. But my parents just kept putting me in improv classes that scared the crap out of me. And eventually,
good for them. That's good parenting.
Yep. I would pretend like I was sick, like I wasn't feeling well, so I didn't have to go because it didn't work. But I'm here. I'm not really shy anymore.
It did work.
So it did work. And I mean, now I really found out that I love acting and it's a passion of mine. So I know it was messy in my childhood, but I'm thankful for it.
Well, so was that was your first try, right? In acting was the Crazy Glue commercial. But what was next? Did you do like theater in high school, or did you do other work when you were younger?
so it actually switched around. I did musical theater when I was very, very young, because I'm the youngest of
Okay.
7 siblings, and we all started musical theater in Ohio.
A big family.
Big family. Breakfast was awesome. And so I had a little bit of that stage experience. So that's why to this day I jump at the opportunity to do any kind of live theater, because it
Awesome.
lights you up in a special way that TV film can't. But yeah, so I had that stage experience there, and then I kind of brought it into acting. I did some short films, and it just flew from there. But I was homeschooled my entire life from up until 2nd grade. So I was always around actors. It was the norm to, do your homeschooling, and then, oh, do you guys want to help practice with lines, or do you want to do this? So it was just, I was around like-minded people. So my childhood didn't feel weird, even though when I talk to people about it, they're like, oh, it's a little unconventional. Like, yeah, I guess it is.
That's good though. I think that's good.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
a little unconventional. That's good.
Right. It made it interesting.
Yeah, right. It gives you a story. It makes you a little unique, compared to other. You got to find a way to stand out. That gives you something.
Yeah, because nowadays everyone wants to be like everyone. So if you can have something about you that's different and gives you a different perspective to look at things, I think that's a great, beautiful thing.
I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. So did you, when you started school, you homeschooled till 2nd grade, and then I guess you went to public school after that?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I think I said that wrong, because I was in a private Catholic school in Ohio up until 2nd grade, and
then you homeschooled.
Yes, correct.
Well, did you play any sports during that time?
No, there was the only thing, I had a little cross country experience in one of it was an actor school, but they had some on-site courses. So I signed up for cross country. And it actually taught me.
You seem like you would be kind of athletic. That's why I was asking.
Thank you. Thank you. I never get that. Although I do like, because it started with cross country, and then I learned how to ride a motorcycle, and then I realized, oh, I can actually be a bit stronger. And then I did stage combat for training in this role, and I figured out that I actually really liked stage combat, and I could do stronger things that I never thought, because I'm a small little girl. And so I enjoy doing push-ups and lifting and stuff now, because I think it's fun to.
That's good. That's really good. Yeah. See on Zoom, you don't seem that small.
But,
right. So
I guess you're right. I'm 5.
We look basically, we're like the same height.
Yeah, we're same size. I don't know why. I don't understand how small I am, because I always say to my boyfriend, oh, we're the same size. And then I look in pictures and like, you grew, because he is much taller than me. But when I'm looking at people, I think like, oh, we're the same size.
We're same size.
I guess
I'm a little guy.
Really?
But I'm taller than you are. Well, I'm like 5'9".
That's not little.
Well, that's probably average, maybe a little below average. I don't know. Growing up, I always wanted to be 6'.
You're doing pretty all right.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's all perspective.
That's right. It is all perspective.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah. My grandfather was like 5'5", so for a little while I thought I was tall.
Yeah. I guess, but there's advantages to being every height. And like with me, I know I'm short, but I get to climb up the grocery aisles, and that's fun. I enjoy doing that. Like when something's on top, I'm like, okay, game time, and I put down my stuff and I go climbing.
Well, you've had combat training, so
yeah. So I know how to do it.
If somebody questions you, that's all you have to say. I've been trained. I've got this.
Yeah.
Let me get up on the top shelf. I got it.
People ask for help. No. Got it.
That's right. So I want to talk about your new role, but I got to ask you, because I know that you had a motorcycle wreck.
Yes.
So I know it was a bad one, but I wanted to ask you how you were doing, because I had a car wreck.
Oh, I'm
7 years ago. It's 7 years. Oh no, it's terrible. It's terrible. And it took me a couple years to me, I recovered physically somewhat, 6 months or something like that once the bones healed. But it took me a couple years to really get back to the point where I could do everything that I did before.
So what did you injure in your car accident?
Oh Lord, everything. So it's like broke both knees, ankles, feet, hands, my face, ribs, everything. I was lucky though. I was lucky.
Because the way you look great and you look healthy. So I'm glad
Thank you.
that you've healed up as well as it was.
Well, that's what I said. It's been 7 years for me, but I remember struggling to make it to the end of the block. I was supposed to be exercising because it was so hard. And then, when I first started going back to the gym, miserable, everything hurt.
Yeah.
And I broke both shoulders, so that it took a while. It took a while, but now everything's, you wouldn't know. Everything works. Everything's back to normal now. So I'm just curious how you're doing, if you've recovered. It's been a year or two?
It's been about 2 years.
2 years.
It was April 22nd, 2019.
I saw a few of the pictures. You were pretty beat up.
Yeah. There's not too many pictures out there of like how bad, but there are some. It was just, I hope you don't hear that guy blowing the leaf in the background.
No, I hear nothing.
Okay, good. But the whole left side of my body was the main thing that got messed up. I had I broke a bunch of parts in my leg. I detached ACL. Scapula was broken, lung collapse, bruised rib, and then the head injuries were pretty bad. I had a concussion and a paralyzed optic nerve, so I had to wear an eye patch for.
I saw a picture of you with that.
Yeah, it was almost about a year because my eye was fine, but I saw such bad double vision. But when I covered an eye, I could see normal.
Did it make the other eye tired?
My headaches were nasty. For over a year, I had the worst headaches ever. So maybe it did kind of make it tired, but I still have double vision. But it's usually only when I'm like really relaxed. So maybe if I've had a few drinks or in the morning or nighttime. And when I like laying down, I see double. But other than that, I had surgery.
Other than all the time, it's fine.
Yeah, but truly, because you look at like, if I'm meeting someone or I talk to another rider and I mention my accident, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I can't even tell." And I'm like, "Thank you."
That's right. Yeah, you can't. Absolutely, you can't. I'll tell you a funny story. When I was in 8th grade, I had I scratched my cornea, so I had to wear an eye patch basically for a couple months, and it really messed up my depth perception.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So I'd be walking through school and just slam into poles and walls because I wouldn't see them.
Yep.
Or I think they were, farther away.
Exactly.
And I would just slam right into it. I mean, I got teased so much because I was just so clumsy while that was healing. So I feel your pain.
Yeah. Most people they just like, they would see the eye patch and like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I'm like, and I would lift it up. I'm like, "I'm fine." And I would have to, when I would see little kids, I would lift it up, tell them I'm fine, because they would get so scared when I would walk around them.
Did they give you, be like, "She's wearing an eye patch, but she doesn't need one"?
Because I mean, I like, and it matched the whole thing, because I had a huge cast on my leg and I had crutches and the eye patch, so it was obvious that something happened, so it wasn't just out of the blue.
I mean, you didn't try to just if I could go back to when I had to wear one, I would have leaned into it. I'd have been like, I'd have dressed like a pirate or something. I feel like I could have taken better advantage of it.
Yeah, I guess I was able to have laughs about it, but I don't know, it was a weird time.
I know, and it takes, it's been 7 years, so now I can joke about it. You're only 2 years in, so you may have to.
I mean, hey,
5 years from now, I'll bring it up and you'll be like, should have done the pirate thing.
Oh, but I remember, because it was weird. I got knocked out during the accident, so I didn't remember it. But it was nasty, because after maybe a few months, I started having flashes of the accident come back, and it was so traumatic, because it's like I would heal, I would get over it, and then it would come back for a second. I was like, okay, great, got it, reliving it again.
I had trouble with my driving in the car, like anytime, not when I take it back, not when I was driving, but if somebody else is driving, I'm in the passenger seat. Anytime they started to hit the brake, I get that.
Tense up. Your body would like remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Awful. Have you gotten back on a motorcycle yet?
I have.
How was that?
It's crazy. I never was scared of the bike. I remember when I was all bruised up and messed up, I wasn't scared to get back on the bike. Very odd because I don't know, I because of the accident, I have such a wonderful appreciation for my life.
Yeah.
And it's hard because as Elise Luthman right now with where I am in my life, I'm just trying to follow the things that light a fire inside of me.
That's great.
And that's acting, that's art, that's hanging out with certain friends. And it's also motorcycles and cars. I'm a motorcycle and car enthusiast.
Yeah.
And so it's like I can't ignore the love and the passion and the fascination I have for them. And I think it's always going to have a special place in my heart. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's great. That's why I asked, because a lot of times when that stuff happens, it kind of pushes you away from it. And it doesn't sound like it, at least not completely, it hasn't. So that's great.
Yeah, which is kind of funny, I know. But I also, whenever I'm talking to anyone who is a brand new rider and they're riding for the first time, I'm like, I have a very serious heart to heart. We're like understanding that every time you get on the bike, you're taking a big risk, and always wear your gear, always defensive riding, especially in LA, a city like this. Like it wasn't my fault. A truck pulled out in front of me. You can be the best rider in this city and still things can happen. So I'm just like, I take it upon myself to make sure that I can teach the most rider safety that I can.
Yeah, I think that's great. You've made a positive out of it.
I truly have. I think that accident, although it was traumatic, so many beautiful things came from it. When you're in a place where you're so, and I'm sure you went through the similar things, like when you're in a place where you're so mentally just drained and down and you're physically hurting and you're in a lot of pain, it's a hard place to be in. But you learn through that dark, hard place how to grow and how to come out of it. And you see things in another perspective. And that growth and that progress is the most beautiful thing.
Yeah. I love that. That's a terrific perspective. So what I got out of it, no more small cars. I got a bigger car. Because I had
you have a truck?
Like, no, I had this little tiny Scion that I kept it. It was just a little tiny thing, but I kept it because I had to drive. At that time, I was driving like 45 minutes to work, and it got good mileage. So I was like, well, I'm not going to get rid of it. I'll just, I mean, it didn't look, it wasn't very pretty, but I was like, I'll use it.
Got
but
you
then,
to point A to point B.
Yeah, it did until it didn't.
Look at that. We can laugh about it 7 years later. Yeah.
It just folded up like an accordion. I was like, I got to get a bigger
car. Man.
No more of that. No more of that. Yeah.
But, and it's something too, because you know how social media, everything is on social media nowadays. And whenever you go on, especially for young girls growing up in this day and age, when you go on social media, it's all perfection, it's all beautiful. And so when I was going through this accident, I was working on my social media because you have to as an actor now. And I remember I didn't feel good. I wasn't smiling. I didn't want to post all these happy photos. And so I was like, you know what? I posted about my pain. And I posted about what I was going through. And then if I ever figured out a way to get better on this, I told my process, and I had so many people that reached out to me saying thank you, and that maybe it was exactly what they needed to hear, or they learned that something. And so ever since then, that's another thing that came out of the accident that I'm just so thankful for, about just being real on social media and being real with other people, because you don't know who you can help out there. What that message you say is going to help.
I love that. You've got a very good attitude to social media if we all used it that way.
I mean, it's hard. It's a daily struggle. It is hard, but I am out here trying to be me and not live for the likes and the views.
Yeah. And sometimes that's difficult. Not necessarily like it's not like you consciously do it, but then, you'll catch yourself checking them later.
Yeah. And then if you don't have a lot of likes on a photo, then you feel bad. And you're like, wait a second, why do I feel bad? Like this doesn't change who I am.
It doesn't change anything.
It doesn't change anything. I know.
I don't know. So okay, so let's talk about Deathlink.
Okay.
So this is so we've got our studio, and what we've started doing is, especially now where a lot of movies are premiering, streaming or simultaneously, we do a movie night, and we bring everybody in to the studio, and then we watch it at the studio. So Deathlink is our next one. This is the one we're gonna watch. So tell me a little bit about it. What's it about? What's your role in it?
Well, I think it's a perfect segue because it revolves around social media, which is something, okay. Which is something that I really connected to with this movie because my character, Julie, she's in the same realm as a lot of young girls where everything is about the likes, and she gets followed up with thinking she needs to be something else. And so this movie shows the consequences of maybe when you give too much of your information on social media. So I'm not going to give away much, but you're going to be on the edge of your seat the entire time. It's a roller coaster, but it's very fun, and people are going to come out of it with a cool mindset on social media. I truly believe they're probably going to be like, you know what, maybe I can set this phone down for a second and see what else is out there. I truly, that's my most favorite thing, because I think a lot of people are going to relate with my character's journey throughout this whole movie. I mean, I'm so hard. I want to tell.
Well, you can tell a little bit, just don't give too much away.
Yeah, it's
so what's your character? Who is she? Is she a high school student? Is she?
She is. It revolves around a little group of high school friends, and I mean the cast it's a stellar cast. We have like Jessica Belkin, Riker Lynch, Stephen Clark, fabulous actor, Matt Rife. It goes on and on and on. So Allie Simpson, and it revolves all around us and some deep dark secrets that come out about the friendship, and you're kind of just like you're following, and throughout the movie you think you know what's going on, and perhaps you don't.
Oh, it's twisty. I like it. I like a good twist.
I know we love a good twisty movie, don't we?
Yeah. So so is it more thriller, or does it delve into the horror realm?
I would say it's a thriller. Okay. It is, because it has a lot of different aspects to it. It's not psychological, it's not complete gore, but it dips its toe into a lot of different aspects. The director, David Lipper, did a wonderful job just combining everything to make this beautiful project.
Is it going to make me squeamish? Am I going to have my eyes closed?
Yes.
Oh boy.
There are a few parts I'm thinking, because certain people I wanted to invite to the premiere. I have some elder friends, but I was like, they're not gonna care for some things. So
yeah. That's all right. I'll keep my eyes closed and just have somebody tell me what's happening.
I'll send you certain times in the movie. I'm like, hey, you close your eyes at this point and at this point.
There we go. That's what I need.
That'll do it.
Are you the killer?
I don't know. You have to just watch.
I thought I had you.
Oh no, because that question is not. That's been tried on me many times in the last month, so I'm prepared.
You're ready.
I'm ready.
See, I could tell you're not a rookie. If you were brand new to this, you've been like, oh, yes.
I would have been like,
I'll be like, too late. You gave it away.
It's done now. I'm blasting it. Everyone's gonna know. Yeah, but it comes out on November 30th. We have a little screening for the cast and some friends on the 29th. And then it's live everywhere on the 30th, on Amazon, on Vudu, iTunes. You can actually pre-order it on iTunes right now and get it for a little deal, which we've been promoting to everyone to do because it's fab.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Yeah, we're gonna make a big night about it. Is your premiere? Is it red carpet? Do you get to dress up? And
it is. It'll be at in Hollywood. So that'll be fun. Because with COVID, we just not a lot of things are coming out on a premiere. So I'm pretty thankful that we get to do something.
Are you doing it at the Chinese theater?
Yeah.
We usually so my wife works for Live Nation, and up until recently, their office is kind of diagonal from there, but we stay there at the Roosevelt, which is across the street.
Yep, there it is.
And there's always premieres there. We're always up there in the room, like, wonder who's over there.
The street is always blocked off. That's why traffic is just always so nasty. Oh my gosh, I have to plug in my computer.
We'll plug it in. We'll wait.
Okay. I thought it had battery.
Hey, I had to do that the other day during an interview, so I get it. If you forget to plug it in sometimes, it of course
yep.
could have been our 3-hour conversation before we started.
Yeah. Okay, we're in. We're safe.
All right, we're safe.
Green light.
We're back. But no, so anyway, that it's there. People there in Hollywood, they're very used to the streets being blocked and the premieres and stuff. So that's cool. That's a Chinese theater, the best. That's the first IMAX theater that I had ever been to. I saw the Han Solo movie.
Oh wow.
Pretty good.
That was the first? Crazy.
That was the first one because we don't have those in West Virginia.
Crazy. I guess I'm spoiled because they're everywhere here in LA.
No.
Wow. That's cool.
Pretty cool. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So I saw you on The Politician.
Yeah.
Which was you were really good. Really good. And talk about a cast. That cast was amazing.
I know. That was there's a funny story behind that little small role that I had in there. I was supposed to be saying, I was making fun to this boy because he wasn't listening to me. So I was speaking to him like he was deaf. And there was actually an actress, one of the main series actresses, she's deaf. And so when in rehearsal, the director's like, oh, actually, can you sign that line to him? I don't know sign language. I only know thank you. And I was like, okay, so you always say yes. You're like, sure. So in rehearsal, when they were setting up, I went to the actress, I forget her name, but I went to her and I was like, can you please help me sign this line? And it wasn't a very nice line. It was something like, can you turn the phone off, you stupid piece of shit. And so she was like giggling. She's like, oh, it's so bad. But she helped me learn how to sign it. And so I was like, so that was a very cool little thing that I was able to pick up. And she was just so sweet about it. And so when I said, I'm going to turn the sound off on your phone, you stupid piece of shit. And yes, so now
you knew.
Now I know that one sentence and thank you. And that's my sign language.
Yeah, but that could come in handy in so many situations.
You never know. Yeah. Maybe I'll be traveling someday and someone will just be not listening to me and I'll just.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Thinking that they won't know what you mean. And then if they do, then it could get awkward very fast.
Yeah. They're going to be like, I'm sorry, what did you say? I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. My granddaughter she'll be 2 in a few weeks. Ooh. But she goes to daycare a few times a week and they're teaching her sign language.
Oh, that's fabulous.
And she'll use it, which is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yes.
You know, like if she's hungry, she'll do and she knows some of they're simple ones, but I'm just like, it amazes me every time she does.
I know. It's so smart when you think about it because, you know, babies, when they're learning all so much, they don't know how to communicate with you. So they just get frustrated. So if you can teach them how to sign, it's so fabulous.
It makes it, and she'll do that sometimes instead of saying something. She'll do that. And for a while, I had no clue what she was doing. And finally, her mother was like, she's hungry.
It's like she's signing to you.
Yeah,
like,
I was like, oh, okay, that was pretty good. That's pretty good. So I wanted to ask you about because I thought this one sounded very interesting because you did some writing on it. But the Short Girls Club.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
And that was the first time that I really got experience screenwriting, which was so much fun. It's screenwriting and directing, but mainly it was my brother Joey who was a cinematographer and director of that. But it was a little web series that I created with my best friend Julian because we are both short. And so we had a lot of funny little stories about just our daily interactions with people because we're short. And so we threw it into a sitcom and it was so much fun. We would write scripts, we would have our friends on. And it was also because when you're an actor, you know, at least until you've made it to be an A-list, opportunities don't come at you every week. So if you can, while you're in that in between your next project, if you can still figure out a way to create and keep your senses and learn how to maybe screenwrite or direct, then fabulous, you know?
Yeah.
That's the beauty.
Well, because you're actually learning skills while you're having a good time.
Exactly. And then too,
Yeah.
now as an actor, because of that experience, it makes me an even better actor on set. So it's just like you're constantly gaining tools to just build up your own craft to the best you can be.
I love that. I love that because I would think you want to be well-rounded. You don't want to be the actor on set that has no clue what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. It's fabulous because I enjoy with acting, I enjoy every aspect of the industry and because there's so many different things that go into a production to make a film or a TV show, and finding out and learning about each aspect just fascinates me. And it's a lot of fun. I know that I'm in the right field when it just makes me smile and it gets me excited learning about it. So I'm happy with where I am.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty great. Do we get to see you climb on the top shelf at the grocery store?
Oh, of course.
Okay. I gotta look it up now. I gotta watch it.
We have that. Oh my gosh, we have a lot of scenarios. We that show is so funny. Julian and I are gonna we always made a joke about how we were gonna be on huge talk shows just talking about, oh yeah, Showgirls Club. So it's gonna be an inside joke as well.
Do you have plans for a book series based on the series?
We don't.
Because it sounds like Short Girl Club. That sounds like a series to me, like a book series.
Yeah, that could, because we
you
actually
solve crimes.
Solve crimes. You solve your crimes with your short skills. I'm gonna text her and be like, hey Julian, we're gonna do a series now. We're gonna do a book series.
Yeah, book series. Or you could just do a sequel, but turn them into, now they're, they like accidentally keep falling into crime solving.
I love how it just goes into crimes. You want them to solve
right into I want them to solve crimes. I want them to solve crimes. If that becomes a reality, just give me the little special thanks.
Deal. I'll say
that's all I need. That's all I need.
There we go.
That's all. Oh, co-creator. That's much too much. That's too high.
Oh, that's too okay. I mean, hey,
maybe a little. Just a special thanks to that dummy from the podcast.
We thought about going back as we're a little bit. We started when we were 14, which is kind of cool because not a lot of 14-year-olds just decide to produce and film and write their own series. So like I do give myself a little pat on the back for that. But we thought about going back to it multiple times because we're just a little bit older now, and so we could make it kind of a young adult, but still short because we're still short. So we still deal with similar things.
I mean, we need to know what's happened in the meantime.
Yeah, we need to know how it's progressed. Exactly.
They became crime fighters. Or not fighters, they're more solvers. It's like a mystery show.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I'm gonna write it for you.
Yeah, there. That's what I'm understanding that you really want to be.
I really want you to solve something.
Deal.
I feel like the bad guy in the story needs to be really tall.
Yes, I agree.
Like freakishly tall.
Because
and with a long trench coat.
With a long trench coat. Yeah.
Maybe it's like three short. Maybe that's the twist. It's three short people. But the whole time you think it's a tall guy.
Wow.
Writes itself.
It writes itself. We're going to have a whole, so I'm going to have a list of tequila. I'm going to have a whole screenplay written by the time this is over. Got it.
I got you. Wow. You're going to be busy.
I'm going to, people
need to clear your calendar.
You're going to learn so much. They're going to come out of this being like, I have so much information. What do I do with it?
What was the movie that you were in it, and it was like a home invasion type of thing? You were trapped in the house.
Family Vanished.
And the only reason I know this one is because my oldest she loves those type of movies. So she was watching it, and I got trapped. I was coming through, and I got sucked in. And so then I sat down and watched it. But you were good in that one. That was high stakes. You had to like break free.
Yeah. And
but then you didn't get away.
I didn't get away. I remember I was working
almost.
because
That's
she
what
had
she
to
said. It's
pull
like,
me.
so
I
close.
like I climbed on the fence and she had to pull me back, and it was a fun little choreograph that we did. But
Yes.
oh, I know there's so many, because of that movie, there's so many pictures of me like with the gag in my mouth now on Google, and I'm like, great, got it.
Yes.
Cool.
Thanks.
Cool. And people are always asking, they'll send me a picture. I'm like, are you okay? I'm like, guys, it was a movie.
It was a
Okay.
movie. Yeah. Do you
It's
need
what
help?
it means to be an actor. But I'm glad you cared. But yeah,
Well, your character was so mouthy, they had to
she
gag
was
you.
sassy. She was a little sassy fast.
She was
But
sassy.
that was I always had I had old cars until fairly recently. I had a 99 Toyota Camry, and for that movie, I got to drive this brand new Volvo. And I remember I felt so cool. They gave me the keys, and I was like, oh, okay. So I got to drive this
All right.
car. Like, you don't gotta tell me twice. This is an upgrade from the Camry. That was fun. But yeah,
My wife has a 69 Mustang that
yeah.
she kept hidden from me for years. She just had it in storage. I was like, what are you doing?
Was it the body was kind of needed some work, and did it
Body
run?
needed a little bit of work. It needed just a little bit of work.
Did the engines run?
Yeah.
Is it manual or is it automatic?
Oh no, it's manual.
Oh,
yeah, it's stick shift.
Gosh. She hid it from you? Oh my
God.
God.
She hid it from me. Yeah. I was like, what
So
are
wait,
you doing?
it's out now? She
Oh yeah,
drives
yeah. It's out now. It's out now.
Wow. What color is it?
Black.
Black? Oh, sleek. Sleek.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
nice.
have chromed, or did you black out the chrome?
No, it's got chrome.
Okay.
It's got chrome.
Right.
The only thing we had to do, because it was in storage for a couple years, so the only thing we had to do with it was some dummy stole the horse. So we had to replace the horse.
Okay, whatever.
I'm like, come on, who does that?
I know.
How do you look at this nice car?
And you're like, this is what I want to take.
I want to take the horse. But I don't know. She had it. It was her. She got it when she was like 16 and in high school. So
wow, what a cool.
She had it. Yeah, I know. And then put it in storage. I'm like, I don't know.
But at least it stayed moderately safe, except for the person that once stole that.
Other than that, it was actually in really good shape. I mean, we had to, replace the battery and that stuff. But it was
yeah. She got it when she was 16. My boyfriend, when he was in high school, so around 16, 17, he had a 1971 Camaro.
Oh my gosh.
Which was like, it was fabulous. It was loud. It was fabulous. And he, the teachers could always hear, they knew he was pulling up because they could hear the car.
See, I didn't have a new car until after the wreck. And then I was like, damn it, I'm getting a new car.
What'd you get?
I deserve it. I just got a Nissan. It wasn't anything, it was like an older guy car, but it's nice. It's very nice. It's like an older guy car. But when my first car, when I was learning to drive, and this was, I'm so much older than you are, but it was a 78 Malibu. I paid like $1,000 for it.
78 Malibu? I didn't even know they made those in 78.
Oh, they were terrible. It was terrible. And I remember
they were terrible. That's probably why.
I was so proud, because I
it was your
bought this first car.
Yeah.
And my family had went to, I got a job so I could get the car. And then my family went to the beach, and I couldn't go because I had a job and I hadn't been there long enough to take off and go to the beach. And they got to go to the beach, and they were filming a movie down there. So they were in the movie. They got to be like my brother's in the movie.
Wow.
It's this movie called Shag that is a pretty good movie. It's like Bridget Fonda and Phoebe Cates. And it's a good movie. But anyway, aside the point. So I stayed home because I'm responsible. Literally the day after I got the car, I wrecked it. I remember what happened. I was trying to put a cassette into the cassette player, and I dropped it, reached down right into the back of somebody. And it really didn't cause a ton of damage, but it was only worth $1,000. So it basically totaled the car.
Yeah. Was it because it was a 78, was it a tank? Did it really?
Oh yeah, it was a tank. It was a tank. Okay. And actually we went ahead and fixed it. I think it did like $800 worth of damage. Went ahead and fixed it. And I drove it all through college. I had that car for a long time. But then I've gotten us way off track. But then I took it to college, and somebody broke into it and stole all the knobs out of the car.
All the knobs.
All the knobs. So like the steering wheel knob, the radio knob, all the knobs. I was like,
what? That sounds like someone they didn't like you. Like it sounds like
yes, there's some anger involved in that.
Yeah,
that's not a prank.
That's not a regular.
No, it's not a prank. There was some anger. They stole the knobs. And then the next thing that happened to it, my roommate asked if he could borrow it. I said, sure, go ahead. Well, it had flooded in part of the town and Dummy drove through it.
Oh.
And amazingly, the car survived, but it didn't run for a couple of weeks, I guess, while it was drying out.
Probably water got into the engine somehow through the intake, maybe.
Oh, yeah, it did. And so eventually.
But it ran after that?
It ran. And I was like, I'm trading it in. So
gotta get it out.
I gotta get rid of it. So I got it to the lot. I had jump started to get there. I got it to the lot and it died as I'm pulling into the lot. So I went in and got a new car, and I'm just praying that they don't want to go out and check it before I wasn't getting a lot in trade in, but they didn't.
They didn't.
There you go. Now you know too much about my first car.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, cars, man. Love cars.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't have loved that one. Although it had some staying power. It was a survivor.
Yeah. See, respect. Any car that they keep on living, you're like, okay.
All right. Tell me about your role on Henry Danger, because your character was like two cans.
Yeah. My mom thought it was about a bird. She thought I was going to have like a bird.
That's what I thought.
Oh, geez. Yeah, it was similar. I get it, but it was because we would pay things with spray paint.
All right, so that was my second guess.
Hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a fun role. That I remember I kept going in for Henry Danger for months, and then finally I got this match. But it was just a fun Nickelodeon show. It
was a good show.
My time. Like it was on a studio. Everyone was professional. The script itself was funny and entertaining. We had a lot of stunt people on. It's so funny. The person who played the stunt man for the main what was his name? The main kid who plays Henry and Henry Danger. I just worked with that stunt person on another Nickelodeon show, Side Hustle. I was like, oh my gosh, I worked with you.
Oh, right. Yeah, you Side Hustle. Yeah. You were Greta.
Yes. Yeah. I was a Dutch twin that I was with my brother. That was actually I know that's the first time, because Joey and we've been out here for so many years, and this was the first time that we ever worked together on something.
I was going to say he's a Nickelodeon guy too, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's a very well-seasoned actor. He's been on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he actually is. And yeah, we're fans of his. He's very good.
He is. And so it was just, and that's why, because Joey and I both, we've been working with each other for so long, and we work well together. We help each other with self-tapes, we coach each other. And so on set, there was so much synchronicity. So it was a lot of fun to be with him and to work with him. And we're going back in a week for another episode. So
that's awesome. Yeah, that's really great. So what do you like if you're on Disney, you're a Disney kid? What are you if you're on Nickelodeon?
I think you're a Nick kid.
Nick kid. I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Nick kid.
But
you're that for life. That's like forever.
It's funny because it used to be that way, but I know some people that have been on both. They've been on Disney and they've been on Nick.
See, that's what we need for you, I think. We gotta get you on Disney, because then you're set. You never have to worry about working again, because they just keep bringing you back for different.
True. I do, because I remember when I was younger, I always wanted to have. I was auditioning for the Nickelodeon, the Disney shows, and I would get so close to having my own series regular show on Nickelodeon, but I would get close, and my friends would get it. And I was always so sad, but I'm
Are you still friends with them?
Huh?
Are you still friends with them?
Yeah. Everyone's friends in this town. Everyone's friends. Everyone. You're friends with everyone. And that's also the cool thing that I've grown up with, because being a child actor, most of the time it's the parents that instill this mindset in the
Yeah.
kids, but you are always competing with everyone. So it's like once you walk into the waiting room where you're waiting to audition, there's just so much competitive energy when it doesn't need to be like that. And so I'm so thankful that now, as a young adult in the acting industry, I realize that I'm not competing with anyone, because that role was meant for one person.
Right.
If my friend gets that role, I'm so happy for you, because I know it wasn't meant for me, and we're on separate paths. If you could just compare your own career to someone else's, it's a waste of your time.
Yeah.
Something I've started to do, because it's, when you see someone that maybe you went to school with getting all these big roles, and you're like, man, I wish that would be me, and you look similar, yada, yada. But I got some really great advice that I think anyone listening to this could also use. If you're ever feeling jealous about someone, wishing you had what they had, just look at yourself, ask yourself, are you doing everything you can for your career? And if the answer is yes, then you just keep doing everything, because it's going to come. If the answer is maybe no, I could be doing better on this, then you go do better on those things you can.
Yeah.
You always just keep doing the best you can do, because then it redirects your focus from someone else back to you, which is where it always should be.
You've got a really good attitude. That's pretty great.
Thank you. I'm very, very blessed to be around amazing friends that give me advice, push me up, surround me with love, and a family that they moved out from Ohio to support my brother and I in our acting career.
That's
amazing.
amazing.
Pretty dope, I gotta say.
Yeah, that's good parenting.
There is. Yeah, they really did. And I had the parents that would say, okay, whether it's homework or an audition, they say, do the audition first. Audition comes first. Like that, I had a career from when I was very young. And with acting, you're expected to act like an adult. So you kind of have to grow up fast in acting, and you learn. That's why I remember I always I connected with people that were older than me for so many years, because I was just, I could talk to them in a better way, versus when you're in like regular schooling, adults they treat you like kids, but when you're on set, people treat you with respect and like you're an adult, like you're an equal. And so I learned how to give that respect back.
I love that. That's terrific. Is there a role that you came very close to that turned out to just be this monster hit? Is there that one role? I know you don't get jealous, but is there that one role you're like, ooh, that turned into something?
Well, I guess there are a lot of roles that I'll see maybe on Netflix. I'm like, oh, I remember that scene. I auditioned for it. But there was only one that I ever got really. I was in training for 6 months. It was a stage combat one. I was in training for 6 months, and it came down to me and a few other girls, and I didn't get it. And that would have been a career that definitely changed my life a lot, because I would have been in another country for a long time. But again, I wouldn't have.
But you got to work out for 6 months. That's kind of
awesome. I got to have so much great training and realize that I can do these things. I'm good. I am very happy. Like I know and for that girl, then it was perfect for her, and she did a fabulous job. So it's like,
that's great. That's great. I've got a good friend that it has a similar attitude to yours, but the role that she missed out on, she was the runner up for Rachel on Friends.
Oh my
Jennifer Aniston.
gosh.
So even she'll say to me sometimes, she's like, that one stings a little bit.
Wow.
But she's got this, she's got the great story about they brought the two of them in. They both had to sign all the contract stuff, because at that time you didn't know which was going to get it. Yeah.
When you have to sign a contract, because it really, really feels real.
Yeah. Oh, that would crush me. That's probably one of a zillion reasons why I'm not an actor, but that definitely would be one. It's
always hard when casting starts, when they start talking to you like you've received the role, and they tell you, okay, so once you get it, this is what you have to do, and this is where, and make sure you have this set, and then you find out the next day, okay, so they decided to go in a different direction, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, because at that point it's just a personal preference. It's usually at that point you didn't do anything wrong. It's just they've decided that this other person is a little closer to what they were looking for.
Yeah, and in acting, it's you're told you're the wrong height, you're the wrong this, you're too skinny, you're too fat, you're the wrong hair color. Like, you're always told that is something wrong with the way you look. But as I've gotten older, I realized it's not really personal. I don't take it personal anymore.
That's
And
good.
that's okay. Like maybe I don't have the right hair color and looking for a brunette. That's okay. I am me, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And I don't need to change me. So it's just you learn to deal with the rejection, learn to not take anything personally, and learn to just if it's making you happy, if it feeds that fire inside of you, just you keep working at it. You keep going.
So are you doing your own stunts now? Have you got that?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes yes. Um, and oh, I can't say that.
Yeah, you can.
No, I can't. I'll get in trouble. Sometimes they usually like if you, especially when you get to be a bigger actor and you may be a lead in the movie, even if you want to do your own stunts, they won't let you unless you're Tom Cruise because it's a liability. Like if you get hurt,
Well, yeah, too much money involved.
Exactly. But occasionally I will try to do my stunts if I can.
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
Have you set yourself on fire yet?
Not really. I
No?
wouldn't say like the whole like I've like interacted with fire, but not set myself on fire.
Have you
Yeah.
jumped off a building, into one of the big?
No, I have not yet. I have friends who have. It's crazy.
I couldn't do it. I'm afraid of heights. I couldn't do it.
I know. I'm like, these stunt people, they don't play around. They're so legit. And it's a lot of training, a lot of technical things you need to be very aware of. It's cool. I love working with a stunt person.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're the neatest people.
Yeah.
I mean, what a skill.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. I have two of my best friends, Greg and Jeff Samuels. They are stuntmen, and so I love hearing stories, and they love like teaching any of their female friends self-defense.
That's good. Good for them.
It's cool.
So, is there a genre that you haven't done that you would like to try?
It used to be horror, funny enough, and now I've done 6 horror movies. But
yeah, you've done a bunch.
I know, because someone asked me that question many years ago. What is your dream role? And I said, I just want to do horror. It seems so fun, and here I am. The next thing is action. I want to be in an action movie.
Like action superhero movie or action?
Action. I think that's where I want to be.
Like I just watched James Bond, maybe something like that.
Maybe something like James Bond. I'd be down. I am a small female, and so I want to just challenge myself and prove to myself I can do it, as well as other females out there that maybe think they're not strong enough, or I'm a girl, I can't do this. I'm like, no, you can.
That's
just
right.
Push yourself. Just like I want to show fellow women that we can be amazing, strong people
and solve crime
and be short.
So I know that you at least dabble in singing. So, can I expect you to come up with a theme song for Short Girls?
Oh, wow. It's funny. We actually did do a parody song once. I think we might have deleted the video because we were so embarrassed about it. Probably.
I think the sequel needs to take place back in the 70s so you can wear like bell bottoms and
oh, rad.
And then you could have the theme song, and it could just the word could come behind you. Short.
Now I see the picture that you're painting. This is fun.
Yeah. It's gonna be a fun show.
Man, I would love to do a period. Period pieces are so expensive because of all the costume and the set. It's a lot.
You could do big hair though.
Yeah, a lot of teasing, hairspray. A lot of
teasing. Yeah.
That'd be fun.
You get to do disco. And they have cool cars from the 70s.
They do. I'm working on a 1969 Silverado. It's my boyfriend's truck, and so we're building it up. So I like working on cars. We work on a lot of cars. So they do have cool cars.
What can you do on a car? Like I'm very limited. I can change a headlight or maybe change the oil, that type of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we can change the oil, maintain the intake, change spark plugs, replace.
That's a pretty good one. That comes in handy.
Yeah, and essentially any job, it's really pretty. Like I changed the thermostat on my dad's for the engine cooling thermostat. Any job is fairly simple as long as you don't have to like lift up the engine and get a cherry picker. Um, but it's fun. I enjoy it. I enjoy learning how to work on cars, and no matter what, like, bleeding the brakes, we do that on the bike and on the cars. So it's never ends.
You've said enough that even though I have no clue what you're talking about, I can tell you know what you're talking about.
Thanks. I mean, I definitely, there's always, because my boyfriend, he's been working on cars for very many years, and he went to school for it, so he has a lot more
Okay, so
knowledge.
he's been teaching you a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I know it's because it's easy when you learn something new that was so foreign to me. It's easy to get like, oh man, I don't know this or that. But no, like you always keep growing with anything, with any new thing you take in. You're always gonna take you start with this amount of information, and you can just grow from there. You're always gonna grow from there, and it's okay to make mistakes, because that's how you learn. That's how we learn. We love making mistakes.
How serious are you with your singing?
With my what?
With your singing, is it just for fun? Do you have? Because I've heard, I saw some videos of you singing. You've got a really nice voice.
What videos did you see?
They're out there. I've seen them. You sing really well. I'm asking. I mean, do you have plans to do anything with that, or musicals, or?
Oh, that would be so fun. I don't have any plans, but I am trying. I've been playing guitar and trying to sing a little bit more, because I feel like it just, with any muscle, you need to practice it, because there will always be those auditions that say, okay, singing is a plus. But for now, it is just a small hobby, but I probably will end up using it at some point in my career.
I just have a feeling. Does your guitar have a name?
Oh my gosh, she doesn't have a name. It would probably be something like Caramel, though, because she gives me caramel vibes.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
We are covering and accomplishing so much with this episode.
I know. We're covering a lot of bases.
Your life completely changed. You're going to get off here and you're like, oh my gosh, I have so many directions I can go in now.
I know. I was like, what do I do with the rest of my day? It's crazy. There's so much to do.
So, okay. So I know we got to wrap up soon, but don't you also like design clothing?
So I paint, essentially, kind of. I paint the back of denim jacket. I actually have some on the wall.
Yes, I've seen some on your Instagram too. It's really good. Really.
Thank you. It's so much fun. I like I will make them for my friends, and if people like crystals, I'll sew a crystal into it, maybe a few saying on the inside of the patch for them. So that way I love giving gifts. Me as a person, I love giving gifts. That's one of my ways to show love. And so I love creating something for people, and it's fun to paint. And so I have like this, that's a BMW rim.
I like that. I like
that.
I
don't know if you know Dragon Ball Z, but that's
Goku. Of course. I'm nerdy, so yeah, of course.
I
was checking it out.
3 different versions. It's regular Goku, it's Super Saiyan 2, and then Goku Blue.
Yes, and you drew that yourself?
Yes, yes, really and it's all talented. It's paint, but it's
that's really good.
Thank you. Yeah. I have a few others. There's one of like a motorcycle helmet and a motorcycle, and I try to, anything I paint, I want it to be something that means something to me, because I think if you're painting with intention and meaning, it just creates something even more beautiful. But I love to create any way I can.
What was the first, like, what made you want to do it on denim?
It was because COVID, the lockdown had just started, and I was looking for stuff to do, and I wanted to paint a picture of my first motorcycle, the one that I got in a crash with. I wanted to paint it, and I had this denim jacket that I wrote a quote on a very long time ago, and I was like, well, let me paint over the quote so it has some extra love in there. And I just went for it. I went to paint, and I was like, this is fun. And then I learned that actually paint on denim, you can heat set it and it can be permanent. And I was like, it was an interesting canvas. It was something that you could wear around and bring that love with you everywhere you go. And so I chose denim.
I think that's pretty great. If you were making me a denim jacket, what would you put on the back of it?
Ooh, I mean, I see a lot of like action heroes behind of you.
Yeah.
So it might be like a bam, like in the comic books, like a bam,
Ooh, like a Batman, like the little bam, pow.
Yes, exactly. Maybe some bam pows, and we could even do like the name of your show on there too. Same something like that. That'd be cool.
I would rock that jacket.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And just okay. We'll write you in. I'm creating a few jackets for Christmas, and then I'll put you on the list.
Put me on the list. That's what I'll take from this. I'll be like, when my wife asked me how the interview went, I was like, I'm on the list.
Like, I'm gonna get a jacket soon. The crazy glue girl is gonna get me a jacket.
Did your motorcycle survive? Were you able to fix it, or did you have to get rid of it?
She did.
Yeah, my car didn't either.
She was a beautiful machine. It's actually funny because one of the jackets that I painted, it's half of a motorcycle and half of a helmet, because I believe that the bike and the rider are one. You take care of each other. You trust the bike trusts you. And so after my accident, I went to, because the bike was taken to a junkyard, because they towed it there when I went to the hospital. And so I went to go see it. It was pretty mangled up, but it took a lot of the hit. And so I just I went to the bike, I thanked it for keeping me safe, and I said goodbye. And so she is no mas.
But see, I think that makes me feel a little better, because I did the same thing with my car, and it took me a little while. I wasn't ready to go see it right away, just because I was still recovering. But I finally went to go see it, and it was there was no bringing it back. It had the windshield wiper went through the airbag, so it like deflated the airbag before it hit me.
Oh my gosh!
So it was just a mess. It was just
wow.
I remember I was they took me into the hospital, and I never lost consciousness or anything. I was
that's so traumatic.
But, I didn't have any head injuries, which was kind of surprising.
Yeah.
I had some facial stuff, but my head was okay. But
I mean, that's good. That's good. This is a good thing.
That's good. So my mother and father came down. My poor wife was in LA when, and I got out of the car, and they had to help me get out. Like people passing by stopped and helped me get out.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get the door open. So
I
got out, and I walked out, but then realized hey, I'm hurt, and got off my feet. And but then they had to. Yeah, I was in shock, and some poor woman had to call my wife, and that was just awful. And I remember laying on the ground. I'm like, tell her I'm okay, because she's like, your husband was in a wreck, and I'm on his phone, and I'm like, tell her I'm okay. But anyway, my parents came down and passed the wreck, and I just remember my mother being very upset, because I didn't realize how bad it was.
Yeah.
Until I saw my mother, and she was very upset, because they saw that before they saw me. So that was kind of that was my traumatic story from the.
That's kind of like with it's like with you saying to your wife to tell her that you were okay. It's like with my parents, they got the call from the hospital, but the hospital was like, they couldn't tell them, they couldn't give any updates on my condition because they weren't the doctor. So like, I can't tell you anything. So my parents they said they were driving to the hospital. They didn't know if I was dead. They didn't know if I was missing.
They were in a panic.
Yeah.
I think for me, I felt worse about that, the effect I had on my wife and the kids and my parents. Exactly. I'd have gladly, the injuries I'd have taken, but I wish I could have not had them go through that.
Exactly. Because I have memory loss from the hospital, but I had a lot of people telling me stories about whenever the people came to visit me, of how I was just making sure they were okay the entire time. Because I care for people. I'm a caregiver. So whenever people are in pain, and if I cause them, like I want to care for you. So I feel you on just feeling bad about the people around. I got sad by it.
Well, I don't want to bring you down, because I know that's tough conversation, but you're so inspirational about it. That's why I brought it up, because I was like, I got to talk to her, because
I can take it.
I watched some of your stuff, and I'm like, you're in a really good place with it, and that's inspirational, because wrecks happen all the time. People go through that stuff.
Yeah, it took a bit to get there. I worked with because I had people telling me I had PTSD, and I was like, nah, and then I went to a therapist, and she said yes. But I worked with a fabulous therapist who got me through it, and now I am proud to talk about it, because I believe that who knows who's out there hearing about your car accident, my motorcycle accident, maybe they will feel better. Okay, hey, these people got through it. They have this positive outlook on life. I can do that too. And that's why I'm so proud of where I am. And I'm thinking always about other people and how maybe I can help someone get there too.
I think that's great. That's a good place to end it. Although I've got one more show to pitch to you. This one,
What?
this one, and I've already ruined it because I told you that there's a zillion reasons why I couldn't be an actor. But this is one we could do together. Okay.
Okay.
So, all right. So it opens with us like all beat up and stuff. It's sharing a hospital room.
Okay.
All right. So we've been in accidents separately, but we got stuck in the same room, and we got all, our arms are all, we're all in the traction and that stuff. And somehow we accidentally fall into solving crime.
There's no lead.
A mystery at the hospital.
I knew it was coming. We're in the hospital, and all of a sudden, we're solving crime.
So it's a mystery. Like maybe somebody's hurting people at the hospital. We're helping.
Sorry, it's my dad. I'm sorry.
You have to stop when Dad comes in the room.
Yeah, I told you this is where the good Wi-Fi is, so I'm here. But I love that would
work.
Huh?
There's a killer in the hospital, and from our restricted position, we're figuring it out.
Wow, and so that's so impressive because we're probably immobilized in a lot of ways, and then we
are
fight crime. Wow, and they don't expect it from us because of our condition.
They don't. I don't know. You think it's ridiculous, but you're going to wake up in the middle of the night and you're like,
"This is a bad idea." I got to pitch it to everyone I know.
Well, Elise, thank you for hanging in there with me, and I know we've been talking for a little while, so apologies.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been fun, and I really do think you've got such a positive message, and you're such a good actress. I've loved you in I can't wait to see the Deathlink movie.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. Get the popcorn out. Get ready to have some suspenseful moments, and I'm very excited for everyone to see, especially you.
How do your parents take the horror movies that you're in?
I remember a movie called Do Not Reply. I had a very, very violent, gruesome death scene. It was so much fun to film, but I understand it was very gruesome. And so my dad was in the premiere in the theater next to me. Oh, he was just closing his eyes. He didn't want to see it. It was gruesome.
Yeah, I'd have trouble. I think as a parent, I'd have a lot of trouble.
They don't love it. I get it.
They just want you in a nice romantic comedy, maybe.
Yeah, because with me, like whenever they have to put the prosthetic in the blood, like I had to bite this pill and then like ooze blood out of my mouth as he stabbed my neck. It was crazy, but it was so much fun to film. And I get enjoyment out of it. I think it's just so fun. I love
poor parents are having nightmares, but you're happy, so okay.
yeah, but I understand of how like people that love you, if they watch it, they get a little scared.
A little scared. Yeah, I was curious. Okay, so before you go, is there anything we haven't covered that you have upcoming that we can kind of keep an eye out for? Other than Deathlink.
Just Deathlink coming out on the 30th, and then Side Hustle. The first episode is going to be coming out. It should be coming out later this month on Nickelodeon. So
I'm excited about that one. I'm going to check that out.
It's such a different vibe from anything I've ever played. It's very funny. So it'll be a good time.
That's
it's funny.
good.
A horror movie and a Nickelodeon show coming out back to back. Like this is what it means.
Range, acting.
Yeah, exactly. I got a range. But yeah, we talked about cars, about the motorcycle, about the accident. About Deathlink. I think we
hit it all. We hit it all. Okay, so last thing, where can we find you on social media?
On social media, my main is Instagram, which is just my name, ELISE LUTHMAN, Elise Luthman. And that's my thing. I have Facebook, but I don't use it much anymore, even though my mom tells me to. YouTube.
Because that's what us older people, we still like Facebook.
I know. I talk to my relatives in Ohio on Facebook. And I'm trying to get my TikTok up. I am trying to post some funny videos there. So if you want to
get that going, you have to come back and help me because I'm old and
it's hard. It's hard for me too. I know.
That's a tough one. I'm impressed with people that are good at TikTok.
I know. I have one of my co-stars in Deathlink, Jessica Belkin. She is so good with social media. She she gave it all to TikTok and all to Instagram, and now she has this amazing following, and I just admire it because I know that it takes a lot of energy. It really does.
Yeah. It takes some
And so
work.
I'm just
It's a
like,
job.
girl, it is a job. It is a job.
It's a job. Do you ever get back to Dayton?
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes. I mainly go to Texas. Just because I have my baby niece there.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, you gotta go check her out. How old is she?
She's about a year and a half.
Oh, yeah.
She started walking recently. She's
So much fun at that age.
Such a bundle of joy. She's a little monkey.
And it's like, if you're the fun aunt, you get all the good, none of the bad.
I promise you, I'm gonna be the best aunt in the world. She's my fourth. Well, I have 2 nephews and 2 nieces.
That's terrific. Yeah. Well, yeah, because you're the baby.
So I am the baby. And everyone, the eldest, he's in his, I think, late 40s. So there was a huge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I've had a lot of time to be to get my aunt.
Do you have, are any of them older than you?
No.
But it's possible, right? Or well, maybe
it's possible. It is possible.
If
they had if they just went right for the kids right away, it could happen. But yeah, the oldest, I think he's almost 13. Oh, he's going to be a teenager.
Yeah. Have fun with that.
I know he's smart. He's starting to get some attitude. I'm like, oh boy. Because when you think about when you were 13, you thought you had it all figured out.
That's right. You thought you knew it all.
You can't really talk to them as a kid anymore because you know what they're thinking. You know how their brain is starting to work, and they're going to be smarter than you soon. So the comebacks are going to be better. Right. You have nothing to say.
They'll be able to do TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. And you're still here trying to figure it out and pressing record when you don't realize it.
It took us 24 hours to do this podcast.
How are we supposed to do TikTok? Oh my gosh.
TikTok's not going to happen.
And now with learning crypto and NFTs,
did you see, I'm going to say this and then we'll let you go. Did you see the Selena Gomez podcasting show on Hulu with Steve Martin? Murder in the Building.
Oh, the HBO.
Hulu. Yeah.
Yes. I haven't seen it yet.
Right. So Selena Gomez, you have the younger woman and the 2 really old guys, and you know what they're doing? Solving crime. I'm just throwing that out there just to say that my hospital idea is not that far. You can do it. An old podcaster, a young actress, solving crime in the hospital.
Stellar idea.
While injured.
While injured. I can already hear them. They're throwing their money at us. They want to produce it. They want to make it into a show.
You're laughing until you pick up the phone. And they're like, this is Netflix. We're in.
Once you're in with Netflix too, they recycle their actors into people, so you're good.
Yes, they do. They do. Well, Elise, thank you so much. We have to do it again. You got to come back.
We will. Of course we will. And you got to let me know about what you think about Deathlink.
Oh, I will. I'll try to take you some pictures. Like when we get the whole group together, we'll try to take you.
Yeah. Yay. Please do.
Yeah, and if you ever do come back out to Dayton, we'll just do it in person.
Oh, how rad would that be? That'd be so cool. That's
drivable. I could get there.
Yeah. Well, it was fabulous talking to you. I had a great time. I'm coming out with a lot of knowledge.
That's right. We got a lot to. Oh, that's right. Next time's cocktail hour. That's right.
Next time's cocktail. Yeah, I'll have my my different tequila concoctions, and we'll do a little tasting.
I'm kind of excited to see what you come up with because you know bartender people, so you might actually.
I know. My favorite drink is a Scooby snack, which is way too sweet for you, I'm guessing. It's pretty sure.
What's in it?
Like Malibu rum, Midori, whipped cream. It's
that sounds like a college
very
date.
Sweet. Yes, it was my first drink when I turned 21, obviously, because it was first.
Yeah. When I was in college, it was Midori sours. Yeah. Like if you had a date, that's because you'd be trying to find a drink that a girl would like. And that's always what we thought. Midori sours, or they had a slow gin fizz, which I don't know if you've ever had slow gin, but it's just in like 7-Up or something, but it's very sweet.
Interesting. I'm gonna look more up about that one because I don't know that one as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, this
There
and
you
the
go.
sweet drinks. I like beer. I like whiskey. Those are
Oh,
my things.
there you go.
Yeah.
That's very,
because it's the too sweet. It started to just give me a headache.
yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
it'll
Well,
do that.
it make you know, if you're going to do the tough woman actor, you can't be drinking the girly drinks. You got to drink
Exactly.
a whiskey, you know, tough.
I know every
With
time
handles.
I drink a beer and I enjoy it, I'm like, whoa, is this what it feels like to be an
Yeah,
adult?
that's right. Look at me. I'm grown up.
Okay, well, sir, I will let you go.
Yes. This
It was
has
a
been
pleasure talking.
terrific. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah. It's been just the best. Hold on one second. All right. So that was the talented Elise Luthman. And that was so much fun. She was terrific. And she's such a talented actress. Excited to see and watch her career as we go along, because I think she's just kind of getting started, and we'll see her in a lot of really big things. Really excited to see the new movie Deathlink comes out on the 30th, so make sure that you check that out. Think you'll enjoy. Thank you guys so much for hanging in there with me another week. I don't take it for granted that you keep coming back. Really appreciate it. If you haven't done so yet, we could use the help on our YouTube channel, MeisterCon Pod. If you could give us a subscription, we would appreciate that. You can find all 300 plus episodes, audio and video, on our website, meistercon.com. It's got a fun, geeky blog from Brett. I mean, he is just a fabulous writer. I think you'll enjoy that. It'll let you know if we're doing anything in studio, like watching Deathlink, or if we're going to any conventions and covering this press. Whatever we have going on, it'll be on the website, meistercon.com. So thank you guys. Until next time. Bye, everybody.